So you want to move to San Antonio, Texas? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about the differences between San Antonio and New York. Not even close.
Not even close. But we are going to cover the differences between these two iconic cities. We're going to discuss the cost of living, the real estate prices, yes, the salaries, the job opportunities are there, entertainment, traffic,
the culture scene,
safety, all those things. We're going to discuss the main differences between these cities, which is going to be huge differences. And we're going to get started on that right now. If this is your first time in our channel, welcome. Please remember to subscribe and tap the bell, because then you're going to get the notifications of all the changes and upcoming videos in our area.
So we're Brian and Brenda Jones, proud owners of Lone Star Home Realty. We get calls all the time from people just like you that have been tuning in and wanting to know what's going on around here. So just give us a call. I'll be more than happy to help you.
All of our information is in the box below. You can reach us several different ways. You can call us, text us, email us, or you can sign up for a Zoom. Whatever's easiest for you. We're here to help make a very smooth move for you to the San Antonio area.
San Antonio, New York.
Nah, big differences.
But
we're going to jump in right now. Let's go.
Before we begin with the cost of living, I just want a real quick note. San Antonio is actually larger than New York. Did you know that?
Population-wise, not
geographically,
so much,
geographically, San Antonio has a bigger footprint than New York. Now,
I don't think people realize how big San Antonio is and how squished together
we're the definition of urban sprawl.
Yeah, that's true.
And New York is known as the urban density.
Okay, so let's dig in with the cost of living.
So New York is...
How many of you know cost of living in New York is extremely expensive?
Yes, it's one of the most expensive cities in the world.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
In the world.
In the world. From housing to food to transportation, you name it, it costs a lot of money to live in the New York area.
New York's cost of living is about 120.
This is New York City.
New York City. Yeah, we're comparing New York City to San Antonio.
Yeah.
So New York City, the cost of living is about 120% above the national average. Yeah. I said that right. 120% above the national average. Whereas San Antonio is about 10% above the national average.
I mean, y'all have all heard the stories about how expensive an apartment, a one little bitty bedroom apartment in New York City, can easily run $300 or $3,500 a month.
$3,500 a month for a one-bedroom apartment.
While in San Antonio, you can find probably something similar, close to like $1,200 or even bigger an apartment.
Much bigger apartment.
Yeah, much nicer. Yeah. So it's driven by expensive everything up there.
Yeah.
I mean, you name it, it's expensive. San Antonio is much more affordable, much more lower cost across the board. Utilities, gas, groceries, transportation, all of that stuff. San Antonio is going to be much more affordable than New York City.
So real estate prices.
We already said renting was really expensive, but
so buying is even worse.
Yeah. So median home price in New York City in 2024,
very similar to California,
is about
$800,000.
That's often like a little itty bitty
apartment or condo
that you can buy for $800,000. Now, obviously, it's going to be a lot more if you're in Manhattan or right in the middle of everything. That's fantastic.
No, and San Antonio, you can't buy an apartment.
That's why
it's very common for you to buy an apartment. And so they have rent controls and all that fun stuff up there.
Yeah.
However, in San Antonio, you can rent an apartment. You can't buy an apartment.
No.
You can buy a condo, and you can buy a home.
Or a townhouse.
Or a townhouse. Or a garden home. But the guys...
But how much is the median home price in San Antonio?
$300,000. It's $300,000, and we're talking 1,600 square feet.
And property.
And
land.
And a yard.
Where you actually get to have a yard.
And garage. Where you can put your car. And in New York, you're getting an $800,000 apartment. There is no place to put your car.
They don't have cars.
They don't have cars. You don't need cars.
They don't need cars in New
for the most part.
New York City.
But it's just the differences are stark.
Yeah, it's crazy. But again, this is like comparing black and white. I mean, they're just so opposite of each other. It's crazy. But in San Antonio, you will definitely get larger homes, larger property, for a lot less money. So
moving on to salaries and work opportunities. Yeah. Again, with the increase in living costs, the
salaries are different.
Yeah,
right. They have to be.
But you know what? You would think it'd be higher, but the average salary in New York is $85,000. Much like, again, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So in San Antonio, it's $58,000 is the average.
But again, you're going to eat up that difference in the cost of living there.
Home prices, housing prices,
everything is so much different.
Yeah.
And obviously, New York is media, fashion, tech. It is the hub of everything in this country.
And the world.
Yeah.
The world.
San Antonio, the job market's definitely growing. We have industries, our healthcare industry is growing like crazy out here. Military bases are here, energy, cybersecurity. There's all kinds of things and job opportunities that are growing in the San Antonio area. So definitely higher salaries, higher cost of living in New York City, much more affordable and reasonable in San Antonio.
So moving on to one of the biggest...
There's no comparison.
Entertainment and lifestyle. If you want to have a...
There is no comparison.
There is no comparison. In New York, they have anything and everything that you could possibly need in the world.
24 hours a day.
24/7.
Never sleeps.
In New York City. San Antonio is much more laid back. It's
not 24/7.
It's not 24/7. I'm sure you can find something in San Antonio that's 24/7.
Downtown.
You could find some Whataburgers that are open 24/7. And some HEBs are actually open 24/7. But New York City as a whole is open 24/7.
Yeah.
Where there are some outskirts of San Antonio where they literally roll up the sidewalks.
I know in our area on Sunday afternoons in the northeast part of San Antonio, in our little town,
there's not a lot going on.
You can't find a place to go eat in our little town because everything's closed on Sunday afternoon. So just a different...
But
it's a totally
world-class dining, art galleries, iconic landmarks, Times Square.
I mean,
there's always something happening in New York.
Yeah. But comment below and let me know, how do you feel about all of that going on all the time? I mean, is that your jive? Do you like that? I know for me, I'm like, oh no, that just exhausts me even thinking about all of that energy and excitement going on. But comment below, let me know. What do you think about 24/7 and go, never sleep?
San Antonio does have its attractions. We have the Riverwalk, which is probably the #1 attraction or tourist attraction in all of Texas, and it's probably in the top. Riverwalk's in the top 10 in the United States. We have the Alamo. We have a growing foodie scene.
Oh yeah, that's getting
we've got
really
the
big.
Culinary Institute of America. The CIA is here.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking Central Intelligence. So we also have Six Flags Fiesta Texas. We've got SeaWorld. We've got, if you want to go up north, there's Schlitterbahn. All kinds of different things to do in San Antonio, but it just doesn't compare to New York City.
No, but San Antonio has culture. I think it has.
We do.
It definitely has a different feel. It's much more laid back. It's much more family oriented.
You can find culture in New York.
No, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that is just something for San Antonio. It's a totally different culture here. So, all right, traffic.
I think this is our last comparison. And there is a comparison, guys. Again, in San Antonio and New York, between traffic and commuting and congestion. In New York, if the president comes to town, nobody's going anywhere. As far as commuting, you have to walk.
But New York, though, is very much more of a walkable city, and there's very much more of a subway, and there's ways to get around. San Antonio, there's not.
San Antonio tries to say that we have a public transportation system. San Antonio tries to say that they want to become we're an international city. We're not.
We're not.
We're not. We will freely admit that. And we're from San Antonio, so we know what the limitations of San Antonio are.
You have to have a car in San Antonio.
In San Antonio, you are car dependent.
Yeah.
And traffic isn't nearly as bad as in New York City. But we do have our slowdowns and our traffic nightmares and such, but it doesn't rise to the quality of congestion in New York City.
Well, we don't have as many people in one little. Yeah. I mean, you say little. New York's huge, but one area compared to us, we're all spread out across everywhere. Yeah. So it's totally different type of thing.
Okay, we have one last segment.
You said that one.
I know, but I forgot about crime rates and safety, which is another topic. Again, there's not a lot of comparison between New York City and San Antonio. However, we're getting there. San Antonio is approaching 2 million people in the San Antonio metropolitan area, but the crime comes with numbers of people. However, with New York being so densely populated and there's more opportunity for a crime to happen, and that's just a fact of life in New York City.
Well, and in New York, though, they definitely have their spots that are, I mean, just like any big city, they're going to have spots that are much more dangerous, and they're going to have spots that are perfectly fine. Same thing in San Antonio, although in San Antonio it is generally lower crime and different types of crime here, but any big city is going to have its pockets of safety and pockets of
one of the things to realize is New York City is obviously the largest city in the country, one of the largest in the world. San Antonio is the 7th largest city. You take the top 10 cities in the country, and they're all going to be pockets of crime and pockets of safety. So it just depends. If you have a really good guide to help you around, would be a great assistant. If you're moving to the area and you want to know places to avoid, give us a call. We're more than happy to help you find the resources to find that information.
Absolutely. So there you have it. Night and day comparison between New York City and San Antonio.
Yeah.
Totally different. And if anybody's wondering what I'm doing down here, here's our little babies. If you keep noticing me looking down.
Her name is Cassie. And thanks for watching to the end, guys. And comment below and let us know what you think. We're more than happy to help you with your move to San Antonio. If you're in the Big Apple and you want to come to Podunk, San Antonio.
You'll be culture shock, but you can do it.
There is culture shock.
There's a lot of people
who've come from New York. So let us know how we can help you. Comment below, and we'll see you on the next one.
Have a great day.